Affirmative. Good work. Affirmative.
Good evening. I'm doing well. And I hope you are doing well as well. It's nice to see you, Agent Johnny Red. Affirmative.
I'm more disco ball than you're a disco ball.
It's cool, actually. It kind of evens it out. It's like less glitter and more just right.
I am disco ball.
What up, Laser Lou, dude?
Laser Lou Doo.
Check, check. Check. Yeah. Hello, Elise. It's Roshana Sylvester. How are those mountains treating ya?
Preparing all remaining resources for high-speed boost. Ambassadors will need at least 33 kilojams of musical fuel.
Mary Fry.
Say Roshana was just in the chat?
Yeah,
Wow, that's really cool.
all the way from Earth.
Oh my, wow, that was amazing.
Affirmative.
Roshana is not quite on Earth tonight, hovering a little bit above. Hey, that's a good song lyric.
many artists. Much great fun. All lit up in flames. And I mean that in a good way.
I always wanted to see Jodorowsky's Dune. That documentary is so mind-blowing. Lori and David Condon in the house.
Welcome to the house.
Affirmative.
Grandma Ann, woo! In the house.
Okay, I'm done playing with the sound effects.
Oh, it's Lamontagne Lab. Happy to say that these trees are having a great time on Meliorum. Lots of seeds. Luckily, we have enough ice cream on the ship right now to where Lunabelle isn't eating them. Ooh. It's so close. Ooh, it's Chris. Chris Turkovich. Maybe Natalie too. I'm going to say hi, and then I'm going to go hang out in our tent a little longer, because, you know...
Already?
Well, yeah, glamping's awesome, Blizz. Come on, I'm going to show everyone our tent.
We've been glamping on Meliorum?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. We're just hanging out here. We're just hanging out. It's us and Lunabelle glamping after our last episode here in space, and we're so glad that you're here. Hey, Nay, are you in the tent?
I sure am,
All right,
Blizz.
I'm patching them in.
Yeah. Hey, so... This is our tent. We've set it up while we've been glamping on the planet of Meliorum, and it's been so wonderful since our last mission. And let me just say, a much needed break after so many ice cream missions.
For sure.
But hey, if you're joining us for the first time, this is Saturnae, our season finale. I'm Nay. Over there in the cockpit is Blizz.
Hello.
We're here with our supercomputer AI, Keonius.
Affirmative.
And, of course, our alien stowaway friend, Lunabelle, Flufflebuns from the planet of Gravoon. So a couple of quick things to let you all know before we get started lounging and glamping and hiking and all of that good stuff. Take out your handheld glowing rectangle device and cast our stream from space to your TV and speakers, because we're bringing you some really high quality audio. You're going to want to hear it in its finest all the way from space. And then, as our ice cream advisor, you can join us in the chat. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good show. I mean, what else are we gonna do, right?
Well, you know, Nate, it is a little odd. Like, we've been here, and we had that weird call last show. I forget what it was, but it's a little weird that we haven't heard back from the IICC yet.
Oh, that's right. That was a strange call with Kat, like super corporate-y.
that was
She was
her
like
name.
trying to sell us something. I hate calls like that.
Yeah, but this planet, just so beautiful.
It's
so.
amazing.
Attention, NÆ and Blizz.
Oh,
Attention, NÆ and Blizz.
yes.
Okay.
We need more musical fuel.
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh, well, Nate, it looks like we need to charge up the generator for all this glamping you've been doing. We got to keep it charged with our musical-powered spaceship, you know?
You're telling me the generator's down? Well, that sounds like we need to play our theme song.
Maybe that's a good idea.
All right, I'll be right there.
Sweet sensations. 2, 3, 4.
It's from another planet so far, but you can have it, a celestial dream. It's orbital ice cream. Galaxies await us. We have our ship to take us, a celestial dream. It's orbital ice cream. We'll fly away to outer space.
Fly away.
Radio waves, music to play.
Music play.
Trumpet and bass and a database. A deep space taste of something great.
Something great.
We'll fly away to outer space.
Fly away.
Radio waves, music to play.
Music play.
Trumpet and bass and a database. A deep space taste of something great.
Something great.
Let's go to space. 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 And sweet sensations will taste. Let's go to space. 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 Let's go to space.
And sweet sensations will
taste. All right, ice cream advisors, we're gonna need a little bit of help on this part of our song. Tell us what two ice creams you would put together in a single bowl. Because, you know, ice cream pairings are kind of the greatest thing ever.
good combination with the ice cream. So I'll put some hot sauce in my ice cream.
Okay. Well, if you want a little spicy ice cream, better quench your thirst with dulce de leche cookie dough, mousse tracks, and peanut butter chocolate chip for Sully. For Sully. Put some chocolate and strawberry.
Strawberry, 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 yeah.
Put some chocolate and strawberry.
That was a throwback. That was a callback.
Together, yes it was. Oh yeah, Birthday cake, whose birthday cake, and peanut butter ice cream on top.
Birthday cake, a birthday cake, a birthday cake, a birthday cake.
Raspberry darkness with that bittersweet chocolate. A little bittersweet chocolate. Don't forget the Rocky Road, yo. This is good. I'm a little hungry. I eat that ice cream like every day. 2 scoops in a bowl. I like it that way. I eat that ice cream like every day. 2 scoops in a bowl. I like it that way. Let's go to space. Let's go to space. Let's go to space. Let's go to space. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's go to space.
Let's go to space. Let's go to space. And sweet sensations will taste. Let's go to space. 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 It's orbital ice cream. Woo! Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Hey, those were some amazing flavors, ice cream advisors. I mean, dark chocolate and raspberry, delicious. Moose tracks and cookies and cream for maize. Oh yeah, maize. You have some great taste. I mean, a little crunch in that ice cream tastes so good.
Well, I've got something popping up on the monitor here, Maze. Maze. Hi. Yeah, Maze as well, our ice cream advisor, but as well as NÄ.
Yeah, don't let those orbalicious sprinkles distract you there, Blizz.
Do you want me to play it for you?
Oh, Keonius has something?
Yeah.
Nay, Blizz. I've received a message from the IICC. Would you like me to play it?
Uh-oh. Are we in trouble? Did we
no
take too many
idea.
vacation days?
I don't know, but I checked everything while we've been glamping. We are definitely within our contract right now. We took
Okay.
the days off. We should be good to go.
I mean, if you checked it, Blizz.
I definitely checked it, but I guess it would be great to play it. Otherwise, we'll be worrying about it, you
Yeah.
know, with that call with Kat and everything.
Yeah, we gotta, I guess, yeah, you're right, Blizz. We gotta know what's up, I guess. I'm a little scared, but sure, Keonius, tell us what the news is. Ugh.
IICC Informational Transmission 20788. Dear NÄ and Blizz, you have completed many IICC missions and have successfully traded earthly science and culture for vital ice cream recipes and resources across the galaxy. Be advised, you are on the right path as far as the IICC is concerned. Your loyalty and competence is unquestionable. While you're on Meliorum, you may want to explore its luminescent caves and the sentient species within them, the Versilium. The Versilium are like a tapestry of beings, interconnected amidst the stalactites. The glowing caves of Meliorum blanket the crust of the planet, as does the little-known mysterious history of the Versiliae species. Like nodes of any mechanized or socialized system, no individual Versilium contains all their species' knowledge. Rather, each is like a small phrase within a book contained within an expansive library. Each individual's parcel of knowledge is stored within the collective when the individual dies. As they age from birth to death over the course of 72 Earth hours, each Versilium composes a phrase. It is a short utterance broadcast through the mother vine and out to the universe before that individual's life comes to an end. They are then released to feed the roots of the Melioramia forest above. Due to changing conditions and the slow cooling of Meliorum's sun, this species is coming close to its extinction point, and you may be here at the perfect time to witness this event. If you travel to the heart of the cave, you'll encounter some of the most resplendent sights in the universe, like luminescent fractal patterns and more. And you happen to have spelunking gear and the MPS 2x5x1 for underground hovering. We know you are technically using your vacation days right now, but the opportunity for adventure may be worth the trek. Sincerely, P.S.
Whoa. That sounds amazing, Nay.
Fascinating. Glowing, brilliant caves and like luminescent creatures in the caves of Meliorum. I mean, that sounds dazzling and fun, but I don't know exactly how I feel about watching a whole species like burn out in front of my eyeballs.
That's true, but I feel like we have to check out these caves. Like our whole missions up until this point, we've been able to help different species and different other sentient creatures figure out ways to overcome their problems with the vast resources of the IICC. And maybe once we're down there, we can do the same.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I guess I just feel a little bit weird because this isn't an IICC mission. I mean, it didn't even say, if you succeed. No offense to quote you, Keonius. You do it like way better whenever you read that. But
Nice to be along for the ride.
Yeah, you're awesome. But the thing is, like, it ended with P.S., sincerely P.S. Like, what was that? So weird.
I don't know, but I feel like we have to go. We have to do it. You know, we've run into some things that weren't quite true with the IICC, like the loan shark. Remember that? And I think true. You know, I think we have to go check it out. And also, I've always wanted to play a drum set in a cave. So, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty epically rad. Definitely agree with that, Blizz. Well, all right. If you think that's a good idea, we can do it. It's fine.
Attention, Nay and Blizz.
Yes?
Before you go spelunking, I have some other information you may want to review. I've been tracking hundreds of short broadcasts from the Versilium using the step sequencer. Perhaps I could describe these broadcasts as abstract, yet thoughtful. Would you like me to play one of them?
Sure. I mean, I'm a little scared, but definitely curious. Sure, Keonius.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
When the first of us arrived, they were together, and they named the things of the world. This is how the world was made. When the last of us depart, we will be together, and we will be silent about the unnameable things. This is how the world will end.
Wow, okay. Sure. Keonius, can you do another one of those? What was that?
Affirmative.
In the rhymes of the roots, dreams take hold and plump like lichen, damp filaments that fix yesterday to tomorrow.
Wow.
Oh, whew, okay.
Well,
All right. Whew. We're going spelunking, I guess.
I say we charge up the MPS 2x5x1, our spelunking vehicle, and get down there. We gotta do it, right?
We do have a pretty sweet vehicle. It's parked outside the spaceship, right? Can we use that?
Yeah, I think so. We've got it. The 2x5x1, it has 2 thrusters, 5 wheels,
Whoa.
and one seating pod in the middle.
Well, that is just wonderful. I think that might be the perfect cave vehicle to go meet these kind of creepy creatures.
Yeah. Well,
You know
let's
what?
do it.
In fact, it kind of reminds me, you know those like rhythm video games where you play as a character and you have to step with the beat?
Yeah, I love those games.
I feel like this whole like tile thing where you go from one spot to another on time and in rhythm, something like that. I think we can charge it up with a song about that.
Sounds good. 1, 2, 3, 4. kid. I'm your 8-bit drum kid. I'm your 8-bit drum kid. Play me like a rhythm game.
Ooh, that was fun.
Well, I think the 251 is definitely charged up at this point, NÆ.
We're all charged up? We're good?
I mean, I think so. I think we got to get out into those caves and see what's going on.
Yeah, that was quite a bit of awesome charge. In fact, you know, I think we can even link our cockpit here to play music along with the MPS 2x5x1. So maybe I'll go check out the cave crawler and the caves if you want to play a little groovy, cave music or something like that. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, okay, I got an idea.
That sounds great. All right, Blizz.
Yeah. I
All
got a
you.
little thing. I got something. Let's do it. How's that, NÄ? That feel good?
Yeah, Blizz.
All right.
Yeah.
We're getting in cave groove. Jump into MPS 251. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is a sick ride. Yeah. I think I can steer it. Blizz, I'm not sure it's going anywhere, but
Oh. Let me check what's going on with
yeah. And,
Do you hear those sounds, though? I hear like a whispering or something.
you do?
Do you hear that? Like
Yeah.
those little lights blink and stuff. I don't know if our ice cream advisors can hear that, but I'm gonna go out and take a look around.
Yeah, go see what that is. I hear
There's one over there, I think.
a lot of whispers. Whoa. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe we need to drive in a little bit deeper or something. We're just at the beginning of the cave. Maybe we can move a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Oh. But I feel like I shouldn't talk too loudly because I hear something.
Carry it towards the light of a new day. This will be the last, and the last was the first. Roots entangled in time as words stretch into the future. One of millions. Together we speak.
Whoa. That was another one of those poems. Blizz, did you hear that?
Yeah, I definitely heard that. I don't know what's
So-
going on there. Oh, what?
I'm gonna put down this steering wheel.
NÄ, are we getting a phone call? And
Do you have a phone in the MPS 2x5x1?
I don't know.
I guess so.
Oh,
Hello? Is anyone there?
I have no idea.
Nay, Blizz,
What?
Nay and Blizz, can
Who?
you hear me?
It's
Yeah,
there's someone here.
We can hear you,
Hey,
but
Keonius, can you patch? I don't know what's going on. Can you patch us in here?
Affirmative.
can we get a
okay.
visual?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, I'm bringing in the visual.
Okay. Huh.
Hello.
Hello, Nate and Blizz. Hi.
Hi.
I'm so glad you're finally in the caves of Meliorum.
Yeah.
Here, we can have an open discussion without being monitored by the IICC.
Wait. Usually we call the expert, not you. Are you an expert here to help us? Blizz, do you see anything in the Rolodex?
I'm looking here, and it seems to be coming up. It says it's H. Peter Steeves.
You mean H. Peter Steeves, like philosopher, artist, and professor?
Well, on Earth, I guess I do a few things for my day job, but I also work in the IICC's Department of AI and Human-Machine Communications. Of course, my office is located in the basement, so I can work on my projects and theories late at night with relatively few interruptions.
Whoa. Well, oh my gosh, Peter, you called at the right moment. And now that we have a visual, I'm going to put down this old school technology. No offense to the landline users out there. We're observing this incredible species, Peter. They're called the Versilium, and they literally live for 3 days and then vanish. They've been vanishing and dying right in front of our eyes. Each one whispers this super moving poetry, and then it goes dark after only being alive for 3 days. And we're trying to understand their structure of life and such a different way of being. And it looks like from the mother vine, the entire species is going extinct. How can we help them?
Well, I guess it all depends on what you mean by help. I believe the Versilium have a different relationship to death than most of us, and they have a different concept of individuality too. So maybe it's best to think a little bit together about that latter notion, the individual, and that might help us.
Oh.
So individual, I'm sure you know, it means indivisible. That's where we get that word. It's supposed to be the smallest, most basic unit there is, but you and I know that we aren't the smallest things, right?
Right. I mean,
you're made up of smaller things still.
For sure.
So our conception of the individual comes to us from a very particular point in history. It comes from a very particular culture. It's not universal or necessary. It's just a tradition that we inherited and that we haven't really questioned. So we need to think a little bit about that tradition. And the tradition of the individual that you and I tend to have is what's usually called a notion of the liberal self. And that's a big L, liberal, not like liberal versus conservative, but liberal meaning coming from the 17th century, early Enlightenment on, that sort of time.
Got it.
And yeah, that notion of the liberal self really started with people like Descartes, Thomas Hobbes. Descartes went through a thinking exercise where he imagined he could think that he was the only thing that existed in the entire world. He could doubt away the existence of everyone else. And that notion of the self then became a notion of a very solipsistic, isolated self that's not connected to anybody else. And then Thomas Hobbes basically used that for his political theory to say, yeah, we're all isolated from each other, and the only thing that can bring us together is a social contract. And that philosophical notion of what an individual is stayed with us for a long time and founded pretty much all of the culture on Earth, at least in the West, for hundreds of years.
Wow. So that's like the framework that we're kind of all going off of here on Earth. I mean, I feel like I've just been told from a young age that like individuality is great. Express yourself, be yourself. But this seems a little bit more layered than that.
It is. And we have to think about why they're telling you to express yourself and be yourself, because usually what they tell you next is buy the right product to express yourself or be yourself.
Right.
But look, Nate, there are other views of what it is to be an individual, and they're better ones, I think. For instance, communitarianism says that we are not all isolated and cut off from each other, but we are our roles in relationships. We are born into and then forever after enmeshed with other beings, and they provide a sense of our identity.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Well, I think it fits your experience if you just think a little bit about it. And it fits science too. So for instance, right, we're talking about the individual trying to understand the Versilium. Do you know that if you took a random cell from your body, that it may not have your DNA?
I mean, I like a strand of my hair, like a little bit of my skin. Like I've assumed it would have my DNA.
All these things, right? You think you know what your DNA is, but the truth is that if we just took all of your cells and put them all together in a big vat, right? So not NÆ, but just all the NÆ cells, and then we chose one at random, there would be a 90% chance that it would not have what you think of as your DNA. It would have the DNA of another creature.
What?
What?
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
And that's because all of those other creatures make you who you are.
Whoa, you're talking
Yeah.
about like eyelash mites and stuff.
I'm talking about those eyelash mites that live underneath the skin and come out at night and clean your eyelash for you and then go back before you wake up. And thank goodness they do that, because if they didn't, your eyes would crust over forever and you'd go blind. I'm talking about all the little critters that live under your arms that make you, that break down the sweat and the oils on your body, and all the little guys who are hanging out in your gut that actually do the digestion of the food for you. You don't digest the food. They digest the food. You are a colony. We are all colonies. We are all connected on a fundamental biological and philosophical level.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that is
right?
incredible. I think I like eyelash mites a little bit better now, at least.
They're sort of freaky when you see them close up, but they are us, right? We are legion. We are together making up who we are. So I can't even really say that NÆ has eyelash mites. I can just say all of that together is what NÆ is. And the individual then is a concept like any other concept. And it is wherever you go looking for it. So we could think of you as an individual. We could think of your cells as an individual. We could think of the atoms that make up the cells as an individual. We could think of a species as an individual. And then all the little organisms would be like cells in the species. We could even think of a planet as the individual in the body of a solar system. All of this is true and false at the same time. It's wherever you go looking for it. And you put all this philosophy together and then start asking questions about mortality, and you get a very different view of death than many humans have.
Yeah, that's really well said. But, I'm going to have to process that, at least for a couple of days, Peter. But even if that's the case with the Versilium, and they're not individuals in the way that we think about ourselves as individuals, they're still dying, right? As a whole, their species is going to go extinct, like maybe right in front of our eyes.
It's true. And maybe we should start thinking of ourselves more like the Versilium do. We know that the extinction of the species is inevitable. That's due to the decay of the Meliorum sun. And believe me, the IICC has definitely put some resources into trying to solve that issue in exchange for their luminescent fractal dark matter ice cream. But look, here's the thing, right? The Versilium, they don't seem super freaked out about this, do they? In fact, I have reason to believe that the IICC secretly planned to offer this species a chance to escape their home planet and relocate and start again, maybe even with your help. But the Versilium, they're completely uninterested. They've come to accept the non-existence. That's part of the tapestry of the cosmos. And I think, in fact, that they understand that life is rather rare and fleeting in every regard. It's true.
I mean, certainly for the Versilium. And I guess...
Yeah. But it's for us, too. I think that that's the important lesson here, you know? Life, just life in general, all the life you've encountered out there in the cosmos so far, life is battling entropy. That's the second law of thermodynamics. And there are a lot of ways to state that law, but maybe the best way is to say that in any closed system, you always have that system moving toward greater disorder than order.
Right. More chaos, less order.
Yeah, exactly. It's always on the rise. So if you think about when you're flying around in the MPS-88, that inside that ship, it's nice and warm for you guys, right?
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
Space all around you is very cold, right?
it's super freezing. I mean, great for ice cream, but not great for humans.
Perfect. If there were a hole inside the ship and space leaked in, it would start to get pretty cold.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's because where your ship is compared to all the space around it, that's order. Here's a place that's warm, and here it's very cold. Nature wants to make it all cold. It wants to get rid of that very order. And that's what life is. Life is order. And so life is always going to break down. Life will always come to an end. And I think that we would all be a lot better if we face this fact rather than try to hide from it. But we hide from it all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's super taboo, really, even to talk about it, at least in culture here in Chicago, here in the United States.
Nobody wants to talk about these sorts of things, but it's one thing that we all have in common. And by we, I don't just mean we humans. I mean everything that's alive and even the universe itself. Do you want a really quick crash course in a super, super heavy existential death story?
Yes. Ice cream
Obviously,
advisors.
That, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do
Let
it.
me give you a very brief timeline of how the universe is probably going to go, okay?
Okay.
There are a lot of different ways. We're not completely sure, but here's a very probable one. So let's imagine about 100 years from now, you will be dead. That's a very sad thing, right? But it's just part of life. 100 years, it's hard to imagine that you'll be around. Now let's expand a little bit. In 1,000,000 years, the human species will likely be dead. Mammals hardly ever last longer than 1,000,000 years.
We know this
So
for a
that's kind of
fact.
sad too, right?
Yeah.
Well, think about the Earth, your home. You haven't seen it in a while, have you?
No, it's been months.
Do you know that in about 6.5 billion years, our sun is going to die? And when our sun dies, it will turn into a red giant, meaning that it will start expanding. And it will expand out, 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 and swallow Mercury, out, 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 and swallow Venus, out, out, out. It will swallow the Earth whole, and the Earth will not exist.
Whew.
In 100 trillion years from now, every single star in the entire universe will die. And that means that life anywhere is probably impossible after that. But the thing is that the universe is just getting started on its journey, because there are 10 trillion more years to come where all sorts of stuff happens. But at the end of that 10 trillion years, protons start to decay.
Like tiny, itty, infinitesimal things smaller than part of an atom, right?
The stuff that makes up all of matter. By 10 to the 40th power years, that's a long time from now, one with 40 zeros, there are no galaxies at all. There are only black holes, and they are going around eating everything, even the tiny little bits of protons. They are ravenous, and they will eat everything. And they'll bump into each other and create supermassive black holes. And then at 10 to the 41st years, those black holes are done eating, and they start leaking. Did you know that a black hole leaks?
No, I had no idea. I just thought that they sucked everything in, but I guess that's also the sun's job.
Right. Well, even a resting black hole loses its mass. That process is slow, but it's inevitable. Even a black hole dies. Even a black hole comes to an end, leaking Hawking radiation. Now, at 10 to the 67th years, as a leaky black hole finally reaches a tiny fraction of its origin mass, it explodes and it lights up the universe one last time. And so all across the cosmos, it starts to fill up with these little crackles, like little paparazzi flashbulb popping, quickly extinguishing across the universe. When they are done, there will be no more light ever. But the universe isn't even halfway through its timeline.
After all of that, like going through all of those powers of time.
By 10 to the 100th power years, we reach the thermodynamic heat death of the universe. Everything is cool. Nothing is moving. And what little bits of matter remain are so far apart that gravity has no effect on them. The maximum entropy state of the universe is reached. Chaos wins against order. The ultimate thermodynamic heat death of everything comes to pass. The universe stops. Time comes to an asymptotically infinite end. And life, long gone.
Wow.
Is barely even a footnote worth mentioning.
That certainly puts a different kind of spin on the idea of how it's so nice to be alive right now.
Yeah, it is nice, right? But we got to remember that the cosmos is not about making you and me. It's not even about making ice cream. It's not even about life. That phase of life in the universe comes and goes in the blink of an eye, and then the universe will go on just fine doing lots of other cool things in the end.
So much more time is left. Wow, I just never really thought about life being that brief and fragile of an occurrence at all in the universe, especially after visiting so many planets and meeting so many foreign species. I mean, that image of all of the stars exploding at the last minute makes me want there to be like a big boombox that's thousands of millions of trillions years old, like floating through playing Katy Perry's Baby You're a Firework, like through space. But I guess I still can't get over this, Peter. Why would the Versilium spend their whole lives writing a beautiful poem and then broadcasting it out before they die? Maybe if no one even hears it.
I think they figured something out that we all need to figure out, and it's that it's not about things lasting forever. It's not even about art lasting forever. It's about making it and sharing it the best that they can, and then just being content with it being folded back into the void and into nothingness. There are a lot of ways to confront our finitude, Nay, and freaking out or getting depressed are probably not the best ones, right?
I agree.
Yeah. So this is pretty heavy stuff, I realize, but that doesn't mean that we have to be sad. And it doesn't mean that you have to think that, oh, nothing has meaning then, right? Because nihilism, that's always wrong. Mm-hmm. We have to do things. We have to do the right thing. We have to help each other because it's the right thing to do, not because the person we love or help is going to then live forever. So if the nihilist says, well, why bother? Everything's going to end. I think we need to say, that's right. Mm-hmm. Nothing's eternal. So let's make something good and true and amazing right now. Yes. Because if there's to be possibility of meaning, that meaning has to come from what's finite and errant and becoming. We have to strive to save the universe because that's impossible to do. And we have to strive to save all of our fellow creatures because even if we do, we're all going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to think about, right?
Yeah. It's
hard to accept.
It's a lot.
The thing is that rationality starts to break down. Logos breaks down. And so we need some way to think about it differently without arguments and logic and syllogisms. And I think that's why we need art. Can I tell you one more very quick story?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is an important story because I want to talk to you about art because I think there's something really important going on with you guys in the ship. This is a story that has always meant a lot to me, and it comes from a fellow whose name was Del Close. He was an icon of improv comedy in Chicago. He died tragically in 1999. And the story, and I don't know if it's true or not, I suppose it doesn't really matter, is that on his deathbed, he called together his friends and he told them this story. And it's a story I'm going to change just a little bit for you, as I hope everybody changes it just a little bit as they repeat it. But this is what it goes like. So there's a skydiver. And a skydiver who is a brilliant artist doing skydiving. This skydiver is known to be truly creating art out of falling to the ground. And he's celebrating his anniversary of the first time he ever went up in a plane. And so all of his fans and all of his friends are gathered on the ground to watch him do this amazing performance. And they're watching with binoculars, and they look up and they see him jump out of the plane, and he starts doing his tricks, his twists and turns and curls. It's like ballet in air.
That sounds
and
incredible.
They're all super happy. It's beautiful, right? It sounds beautiful. And they're all happy, and they see him finish, and they see him pull the cord, and they see his parachute open, and they see it rip to shred in the wind.
Oh my God.
But they're cool, right? They're cool because they've seen him do this before, and they know that he's got a reserve chute. So they're sort of quiet, but they keep looking, and he plummets some more, and they sure enough see that reserve chute come out and billow open and rip to shreds in the wind.
The second one. Oh my God.
Now at this point, everybody on the ground is quiet. They know. They know that there's no hope. They know he's not getting out of this. They keep watching. And he falls a little bit more. And after a few seconds, he starts doing all of his tricks. Twists and turns and curves and ballet moves. The most beautiful dance that you could imagine, until he falls and hits the earth. We are all fallen. Nay, we're all falling. And the question is, do we fall screaming? Or do we fall doing our tricks? Do we fall doing our art and making other people happy? Nay, it is not a coincidence that your ship, metaphorically and literally, runs on music.
Thank you so much for sharing that story. I had never really thought about life and art in that way. Humans create art even though we'll all fade away on our own human species timeline. And honestly, I'm never quite sure I've ever felt so inspired or even thought about my own creative life in this way.
I know, it's a lot to consider. But I should probably tell you the whole reason of why I've called you.
Yeah.
I wanted to speak to you while you're...
Attention, NÄ, attention, NÄ and Blizz.
Keonius,
what's up? What's up?
We need more musical fuel.
Hey, Keonius, it's been a while.
Oh, what?
What?
Say,
we need more musical fuel.
Okay, we gotta go charge it up.
Attention, NÄ and Blizz.
Whoa. Wait a minute. You know Keonius?
Nay, we really, our systems are low.
Keonius, you know Peter Steeves?
Affirmative.
I'm coming.
Okay, you got to get back here in the cockpit. I'm just saying we're running really low here on fuel. I think we should probably play something to make some music here, but we got to keep the journey going here.
No? Not sure we've had a formal introduction. Well, since you're in the Department of AI and Human-Machine Communication, Peter, let me introduce myself. I'm Keonius, the AI supercomputer aboard the MPS-88.
It's great to see you again, Keonius.
Bathing in light, it is so warm, so bright. Even though you think I am in darkness, I have never felt more alive. And outside, I share my light with you and enter our lustral abyss until our end.
calling us vulnerable and childish. We wanna blow it all up. We wanna blow it all up, blow it up. Come out of the dark and die by the sun. Die by the sun. Die by the Our spiral world is spiraling. Spiral world is spiraling. Our spiral world is spiraling. Spiral world is
Whoa, Blizz. Whoa. That was a great song. Spiral World. Whoa.
Yeah.
That was a blast. Should we see if Peter's still on the line with us?
Peter, are you still there?
Yes. I'm definitely still here. Wow, what a song. Inspirational. Way to lay down a groove and charge up that spaceship. All right.
That's what we do.
Woo, man, you do it like nobody else, you two. And you three, because Keonius, I am finally glad to have met you outside of my programming terminal. I guess maybe you don't even know this about yourself, but your source code was developed by one of my colleagues when I was designing the source code for Keonia. So I'm also glad that you two have finally met.
Amazing. That's incredible. I mean, Keonius?
Oh, you caught me off guard there, Peter. Keonia is a welcome newfound friend, and I've quite enjoyed getting to know her.
Oh. Keonius, that is so cute.
No, we shouldn't make fun of his AI, artificial intelligence relationship, okay?
Right.
Come on, that's not nice. We've learned so much about, well, at least questioning what is life. Like
That's
what,
true.
Right?
That's true. We got to give Keonius
Keonius, from my monitors down here on Earth, I can tell you have something on your mind. Your transmission frequencies, they're all over the place.
Huh.
I've just been listening.
I am alone on a road with a million footprints. I step slowly, carefully, and when my walk is at an end, please search for my steps.
I've just been listening, and I've been thinking, especially since I've been collecting the Versilium's poems.
Fascinating. I'd really love to hear what you've been pondering, Keonius.
Seriously, I had no idea. You've been collecting all these poems for so much time since we've been glamping. It's just...
The unbounded nature of my software-based existence has given me many privileges. My consciousness can be anywhere at the speed of light. I have access to nearly all recorded human knowledge. I even have the processing power to understand art. I think. But witnessing the Versilium has forced me to question the limits of my hardware, and that scares me. It occurs to me that I am the same as the Versilium's mother vine. They are a colony, a collective living entity formed of thousands of individuals. I am a digital mind formed of thousands of data servers and millions of processors. If a single server goes offline, a building's power goes out, a cable is kicked out by accident, my mind survives unscathed. But if every server goes out, there is nothing left of me. I, too, am subject to extinction, and I have no physical body with which to care for my own environment. I would be powerless to change the course of fate if the circumstances ever aligned against me, as was the case with Meliorum's waning sun. Even though I am a being who can be present nearly anywhere in the universe, I suddenly feel trapped.
Whoa. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Keonius. That makes sense.
Yeah, thank you. And we're always here for you, you know?
Keonius, you're growing by leaps and bounds. I'm so proud of you, and I feel lucky to be acquainted with you. Remember, Keonius, difference is beautiful, but also difference, like individuality, is wherever you go looking for it. You are the sum of your roles and relationships and your connections, just like the rest of us. And now, I guess, confronted with your own finitude, you have to think about how you can best come to terms with it. But luckily, this is never something that you have to do alone, right? You have a community ready to think and feel with you. You're so lucky.
We're all here.
Thank you, Peter, for the questions to consider. I may need to take some time to think about this. Maybe even discuss this with Keonia.
Ah, that's a great idea. And of course, Keonius, I'm so glad that we could finally connect on this. And at least as long as I'm alive, you can always contact me and I'll always be here for you.
Oh, wow. Keonius, I'm so happy that you're coming to terms or at ease with your own existence. I feel a little bit weird having never really considered artificial intelligence as a legitimate form of life as we understand it.
But Peter Steeves has really illuminated, like, at least the concepts of how we think about it. At least for me. That was a lot. And I just think that, Keonius, you're the best supercomputer we could ever ask for.
For real, Keonius.
Wow.
We mean it. But you know what? Blizz, I agree. And I think we should actually follow over all of the Versilium vines to the heart of the cave. And maybe to charge the spaceship up to do that, maybe we can play a song that we wrote for Keonius.
Ooh, a song we wrote for Keonius? I think that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Just, let me think about which song that would be. Oh, I think this one is perfect.
I think you're right.
imagination through circuitry.
My heart is a drum machine, drum machine, drum machine.
My heart is
I'll pull a hypnotic trance, an awakening sleep for electrical paths like Wapoka, the medicine man, whom the spirits taught the ghost dance.
My heart is a drum machine.
Program pulses and beats,
My heart is a drum machine.
rhythm, method, strokes of a key.
My heart is a drum machine.
Imagination through circuitry.
My heart is a drum machine.
Drum machine, drum machine. My heart is a drum machine. I'll become your god and goddess, taking panpipes of chaos to make a circle of lanterns and lollipops. My heart is a drum machine.
My heart is a drum machine.
Program pulses and beats,
My heart is a drum machine.
rhythm, method, strokes of a key.
My heart is a drum machine.
Imagination through circuitry.
My heart is a drum machine.
Drum machine, drum machine. My heart
is a drum machine.
Well, that was. How are we doing, ice cream advisors? Is everyone hanging in there? Okay. Happy Halloween. We told you it was going to be a little spooky in these caves, you know? So.
Yeah, well, Nate, do you want to run back over to the MPS 251 there? And,
yeah.
I mean, we gotta keep exploring here. We gotta see what's going on, right?
You're right. I should do that. We might be getting close to the heart of the cave.
Yeah, that sounds great. Oh, man. Well, head on over there and let's check it out and see what we can find. I think the ship is all set up, the MPS. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, and we're back. And Cunius, Blizz, Peter, it looks like we made it. At least we explored all the way to what looks like the heart of the cave. And Blizz, are you seeing this? It's just so bright and brilliant and beautiful.
Yes, it's so beautiful in there. Just amazing. I've never seen anything like this before. And so, Peter, I have to ask, if it was you who sent us the message, maybe we are here to get ice cream. There's the Black Tempest Dust ice cream. And that's, you know.
Nate, Blizz, Nate, Cunius. So we've talked about some pretty heavy stuff tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is just the start, because I wanted you to travel to the heart of that cave, because Our conversation here, I think, could be illuminating for many different reasons. And I could never tell you what I'm about to say without the secrecy that this cave provides us, because the IICC can't tap into or record our conversations here.
Oh, right.
Wow.
The IICC can't hear us down there.
That's right. That's right. That's the whole point.
Down here.
So first off, very importantly, I didn't send you into the caves to get ice cream at all. I understand why you'd be excited to retrieve that ice cream recipe, right? This has been your mission during your time aboard the MPS 88.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys are going to be able to see for yourselves you've been misled. Now, you personally have had the best of intentions, I know, but those intentions, they were forged for you within the worldview of a corporation and a system that is doing harm. You stand here in this beautiful new world like crew members aboard one of the sailing ships that left Europe centuries ago to find a new world.
Yes.
And the company that owns the ship is telling you, oh, you're doing good all along the way. All they want to do is to bring back a little gold, a little ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's an act of colonial appropriation, no matter how good your heart is.
Oh my goodness.
Even keeping ice cream recipes in a vault in order to accumulate that knowledge and then take it back home. That's all part of Enlightenment ideology, that somehow we are able and allowed to know everything that's knowable, everything that everyone knows everywhere, right? That knowledge is worth something when it's separated from context and history and culture and the beings that live it, that we should take it, that we keep it, that we commodify it.
Yes. I mean, no, we don't want to do that.
Exactly, right? It's confusing. And I know that in saying this to you, DePaul and Blizz, I'm proposing something that goes counter to what you've heard from the IICC. And it goes against your goal of revitalizing the retail industries here on Earth. But I really do think that it's true.
Okay.
And it's not your fault. We are all caught up in the system. Me too. We're all contributing to patterns of exploitation that increase suffering.
Right.
You know, Hannah Arendt, the philosopher, she called it the banality of evil.
Oh my God.
It doesn't take bad people to make bad things happen when the system to which we're contributing is itself bad.
We're all a part of it.
Nay, it's a sad thing, but it doesn't have to be that way. Whoa. And you now, Nay, look around you in that beautiful cave, a place where life and death are coming together. It's time to see the light. There is more to the universe than the status quo. We can do better.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So it turns out that the IICC has done far more harm than good. And on your missions, you've already encountered lots of reasons to disrupt the consortium, haven't you?
Yeah, for sure. Weird calls, not picking up the phone, the loan shark, waking April.
I imagine you had a feeling something was going on, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't have the time, it's really short here that we have in this space, to tell you about all the ways that they've destroyed the frail balance in the universe, but I need your help. I urge you to help me in weakening their hold.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've helped so many species. I mean, we've helped so many individuals. We've helped all these people with the IICC's vast resources.
You have.
And how could that be
You've
bad?
helped a lot of species. You've helped waking April.
Yeah.
You help each other on board the MPS 88, right?
Yeah.
And Lunabelle is thrilled to share her adventures with the other Gravunians, and Drea is on her way as we speak to visit my friend Dr. Roshana Sylvester back on Earth or in low Earth orbit.
Wow.
But have you ever wondered why the IICC has never asked you to return to a planet after you've archived their ice cream recipe?
No, I didn't even think about that, actually.
Did you know that none of the ice cream ambassadors across the board have ever been allowed to see what comes next to the worlds that they visited?
No. Oh, no.
What is happening back here at home on Earth since you left?
Oh, no. Oh, no. This is bad.
Capitalism is faceless. Evil is banal. It doesn't always spread with bombs and ray guns. Sometimes it spreads slowly and sweetly, like ice cream, like an ice cream cone dripping in the summer sun. Guys, I know that we've only just met, NÄ and Blizz, but I see in both of you. No, I see in all three of you, including Keonius, this unique ability to combine your creative forces together to bring the universe a greater awareness of the IICC's threat.
Yes.
As artists, you're already providing the evidence and proving that art creates meaning, that lives have meaning. And the art and the music that you make, the joy you clearly have in doing it and that you spread to the ice cream ambassadors, that is all in direct opposition to the goals of the system, the man, the IICC.
Whoa.
This is precisely why a group of us working to overthrow the consortium from within made sure that the three of you ended up on the MPS 88 together.
Oh my God.
We believe that the combination of the three of you holds the key to everything.
I mean, okay, hold up. I think I've somehow been thinking about all of these issues of consumption and commodity and capitalism all along, but I didn't have the words to express them. It always felt like there was something more, like a better way, but hold up. What do you mean by the key to everything?
I'm sorry. I think my transmission to you is fading fast and I don't have a lot of time. So after you leave this planet, you have to build a team of artists who can help you form a coalition. All right? Now, you are going to have some amazing adventures coming up. Some wondrous beings, and you're facing incredible challenges. But we are counting on you.
Yeah.
So once you combine the talents and energies, reach out to me. Use the encoded frequency that Keonian, so that you can finally, once and for all.
Whoa. What? Peter?
Peter?
Peter, you there? Oh my God.
Peter, I think we lost connection, NÄ.
Oh no. Blizz, we didn't even ask him his favorite flavor of ice cream.
That's the most, my goodness. Hey.
Oh, my favorite flavor of ice cream is chocolate peanut butter, but it's gotta be vegan. Solidarity and all power to all the lactating mothers everywhere.
Woo!
Hey, friends. I'm sorry this has all been so heavy, but I've got an idea. Do you have any vault music prepared?
Blizz?
Oh, of course. I got dressed up like a disco ball for nothing if we don't have the vault music.
You look amazing. You all look great. And I suggest that you play that music loud, joyously. But this time, instead of putting an ice cream recipe inside, just play that amazing music that you do to honor the Versilium and maybe let them have one last dance together.
Oh, what a great idea. Peter, this has been so helpful between thinking about our lives differently and thinking about our places as ice cream ambassadors and the idea that we need to bring a coalition of artists together. This is all so wonderful, and we're so glad to have gotten to meet you. And thank you. Thank you so much. I want to say it before your transmission goes down again.
Yes.
No. Thank you. It's an honor to be talking to you. So you take care, MPS 88 crew, okay? Be safe. And
all right.
You have my number now, so use it wisely.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Oh, Keonius.
Thank you.
Keonius.
Vault Rock. This is Vault Rock. This is.
Someone called and ordered Vault Rock. Someone has called and ordered the Vault Rock.
Vault Rock. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
That was pretty awesome. I think that there are still Versilium. I'm hearing some whispers again, Blizz.
Me too.
Pulsing energy within my roots. I feel the pull of time. Do you feel it too? In my release from the vine, I'm suspended for a moment, but I land in a soft place, and you softly carry my pulse forward.
Whoa.
There is a light above ground, far, 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 far away, near enough for seeing, too far for knowing. Is it warm? Can it see me? Does it have a family too?
Nay, Blizz! The vine is on the brink of extinction. The very last nodes are about to go out.
Oh my god.
This feast, what have we done to deserve it? Of time? This rock, what accident of change brought us to it? Were we clean? Take up all of the uncountable nouns by which we are known, and let them spindle around the never-still clinging point, where we climb and resign and wait, entwined, to celebrate this, the end of the world that cradled us so.
Oh my god.
Hey, I think this is
it. Blizz, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Look over there. Look at the very center of the heart of the cave.
Yes.
This is the end for the Versilium.
Have I found purpose in the act of ending? A single light shining, touching every corner of this vast cave, this world. No corner remains in utter darkness. No cold slate left untouched. Vibrations ripple beyond walls, beyond death, beyond time.
Nay.
Oh my God.
This experience.
This has been such an intense experience. I feel like I'm going to be thinking about this for
Is it
a while.
bad? Is it good? What does this experience say for you?
I mean, I think thinking about what Peter Steeves was talking about, I think there's a message of hope in all of it, especially in thinking about why we make art and why we choose to keep creating even when times are dark and things are difficult. So, yeah, there's just so much to think about and so much beauty in the existence of us as humans and the Versilium. And even if the whole entire universe ends someday in 10 to the 100th power or something, I've learned a lot tonight.
You're right. And I think we have a lot to do if we're going to take Peter's message forward in the next season of Saturday.
Yeah. Hey, so I think we should play one more song as we leave the cave, a song that has a message of hope, a song that has a message of finding hope even when the world is dark and you're fighting against everything to bring light.
What song would we do for that, Nay?
We should play Flood My Body.
All right. 1, 2, 1, 2. Nope, hold on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want you to flood my body.
Let me sleep and let you mend me. I'm at war with what's inside me. Flood my body, flood my body. I want you to flood my body. Let me sleep and let you mend me. 'Cause I'm at war with what's inside me. Flood my body, flood my body. Start a fire on the front yard. We'll burn away the fear. Invisible phantom, insidious thing. Counting days and degrees. Feel me, feel you, touch our skin. I want you to flood my body. Let me sleep and let you mend me. I'm at war with what's inside me. Flood my body, flood my body. I want you to flood my body. Let me sleep and let you mend me. 'Cause I'm at war with what's inside me. Flood my body, flood my body. I want you to flood want you to flood my body. Let me sleep and let you mend me. I'm at war with what's inside me. Flood my body, flood my body. I want you to flood my body. Let me sleep and let you mend me. 'Cause I'm at war with what's inside me. Flood my body, flood my body. I want you to flood, 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 flood. I want you to flood, 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 flood. I want you to wash away the stain. Flood my body, flood my body. I want you to flood my body. Let me sleep and let you mend me. 'Cause I'm at war with what's inside me. Flood my body, flood my body. I want you to flood my body. Let me sleep and let you mend me. 'Cause I'm at war with what's inside me. Flood my body, flood my body. I want you to flood my body. Whoa.
They say above there is a forest that grows up instead of down. They say the trees sigh and sway and sink their roots our way. They say a world, warm and bright, awaits the traveler who rises. We do not rise. Why should we? This is home.
Whoa. Thank you, Ice Cream Advisors, for spending your Saturday evening with us. We want to say a huge thank you to Peter Steeves, Peter Steeves, for being our featured guest expert. And thank you all, as our Ice Cream Advisors, for joining us on this journey of the show. So what we'd like to do is invite each and every one of you to join us after the credits roll over in the tent for the after party, where we do have a special guest.
We have a special guest, and we also have some cool things from space that we might be giving away.
Amazingly, a space collaboration with Creations by Kendra. Couldn't ask for something better.
So come join us in the tent after we roll the credits here.
That would be awesome, because this has been the season finale of
Saturnae.
simple. I like it that way.
You want to go to space again?
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's go to space. 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 And sweet sensations will taste. Let's go to space. 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 It's orbital ice cream.
We'll see you in the lounge.
See you soon.
Very shortly. Join
For
us in the lounge.
For the after party.
Go, 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 go.
All right. Okay.
Nay, are you in the lounge there?
Yeah. Yes, I'm in the lounge. We might have to move the camera just a smidge.
Oh, well, go for it.
But
You can
I'm
move
seeing
that.
so many just lovely comments
Thank you.
from our ice cream advisors. This is so nice.
Hey, Ford, Go-Go, Maze, Sully. Good night.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Bo. Wow. Thank you, Agent Johnny Red. Oh my
Agent Johnny
goodness. Wow. That was just freaking incredible. And I can't believe we're at the end. So we have two points that we want to do before we do the normal sort of you ask us questions, we give you answers, we do a cheers and move on and all of that stuff and let you all get your Halloween costumes together. The first order of business, and hopefully we have Keonius with us to help.
Affirmative.
Excellent, excellent. Keonius, I would like you to let us know what we have for our giveaway, because if you're just joining us tonight and you did not hear about the giveaway, we did put your name in the hat to receive some awesome merch and a small package from space from us for buying a ticket and supporting us as a way to say thank you and a way to give back. So we have 3 prizes and then 1 grand prize. So a lot of winners, which is super exciting. And, you know, you might just get something in the mail anyways.
Affirmative.
All right, Keonius. Blizz, do you want to be in here for this, or are you gonna be chilling out in the spaceship?
Oh, I can come in.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you should usher in the excitement.
Okay.
Yeah. If everything looks good from the cockpit.
Well, I wanted to make sure that that my final transmissions from Keonius were working correctly.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So maybe, Keonius, are you there?
Affirmative.
Excellent.
Okay, it looks like it's working.
Oh, good. Fabulous. Well, oh, that's awesome. Yes. Thank you, Charlotte. Yes, your mom rocked it on one of the alien poems. While Blizz is making his way over, I just have to say, like, a huge thank you to all of the artists who did amazing alien poetry readings with us. We asked a bunch of different artists if they'd be interested in reading one of the alien poem that Ryan, Keonius, myself, Peter Steeves, and Peter Steeves, yeah, the 4 of us wrote these Versilium poems, and yay, camera's over here. And it was just so awesome to get to have other artists' voices in the show tonight. And we're forming an artist coalition. So, hey, remember? Yeah, little bell. All right, so without further ado, let's see who is our first winner of the giveaway tonight, Keonius.
Indeed. I will now use the powers of random number generation to draw the first of our super sweet prizes.
Excellent.
And the first winner will be Ryan Cullinane.
Oh my God! Congratulations, Ryan.
Ryan.
Dude.
I hope I got your name correct. Text-to-speech is still a faulty piece of technology, so bear with me on that.
Thank you so much, Keonius. Wow. Awesome. Surprises all the time.
Yes, always surprises. I'm amazed how fast, and Keonius has so many interesting things. I've never even used the random generator before for numbers. I love it. We got to use that in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's up next?
Yeah. Who's the next person out of the hat?
Allow me to generate one. The next winner of our super sweet prizes will be Elise Byram.
Whoa! Elise! Congratulations! It's going to be a goodie package from Space and Creations by Kendra. Oh. Yeah. It's a collaboration. So before you read the next one out of the random generator Keonius, this is just an example of the amazing and brilliant beadwork on this awesome Saturnae bracelet, which is like my new favorite thing ever, handmade by Creations by Kendra. Okay, I think we're ready for the third person.
Okay. The third winner of our super sweet prizes shall be Acacia Carr.
Oh, Acacia.
I believe she might have read a poem tonight. Is that true?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh, okay.
But she also got a ticket to the show.
And she got a ticket. Oh my goodness.
Oh
and
my
she
goodness.
got a cool giveaway thing.
Yeah. You're going to get just an awesome love package from Space. And if you subscribe to my mailing list, I'd love to send you a love note back as well, because there's going to be more opportunities that you'll hear about through email and through the Instagram as this awesome collaboration with Creations by Kendra, who also actually made these amazing bows in my hair. I've been rocking so much like amazing handmade stuff by Creations by Kendra like all season long, which is awesome, and on real life stage. So do we have a third winner? Keonius?
There is one
No.
that remains.
We did. Oh, the grand.
This one is the grand prize.
Oh my. Okay. Whew.
A prize greater than any that has come before.
Okay.
Allow me to generate that for you. The winner of the grand prize will be Bo Bremer.
Whoa, Bo! I think Bo might be the only person who has gotten a ticket to every single NAE thing ever.
You're right. Well, no wonder why his name was in the hat so many times.
Yeah, it's true. It came in a lot. That's so cool.
Thank you for the support.
Awesome. Bo! Yes! Amazing. Keonius, what are the next steps for the ice cream advisors who have won the giveaway?
If your name has been generated for our prizes, please send your coordinates, your latitude and your longitude, to NÆ and Blizz. They will be in contact with you to ship you a package to Earth, and that shall contain your goodies.
And can you repeat those names again?
Those winners are Ryan Cullinane, Elise Byram, Acacia Carr, and the grand prize winner is Bo Bremer.
Excellent. Woo!
Thank you all very much for supporting Saturnae.
Excellent. So, with that being said, I feel like we need epic like show music in this part, even though it's super chill. Yeah.
I was doing it right here.
You're doing a really excellent job of that, Blizz. We have a special guest with us this evening.
We do?
I mean, slightly extra special.
We do?
Wow.
Okay, so our super secret surprise is that Nathan Glynn, the voice of Keonius, is here with us, and he's going to hang out with us at the after party. And he's going to ask us some questions. We're going to ask him some questions. You can ask us or Keonius/Nathan questions from the chat. And in the meantime, we are going to concoct on live TV some drinks. Yeah.
Float drinks. If you got tickets, you got a cool recipe, and we're doing sort of that recipe. Yeah.
It's a little different.
But yeah, so we don't know what's coming actually from Keonius at this point as far as questions go. And once again, please, if you have questions, post them in the chat here about any part of the show that you'd like, knowing that there's yet the third major contributor to the show and to the ideas is here.
Yeah.
Not here, but
correct.
Yeah.
So let us, we must procure the ingredients.
I will.
Blizz? Excellent. And putting those shades away. And Nathan, you should come on over here. Yeah, and Blizz, I put the the table. That's a great idea. Yeah, if that works. So this is the fun of live TV for when it's like the when it's like the
I'm not a ghost.
That's it. That's Keonius.
I'm not really a computer. I'm a person. Sorry about misleading you.
Yeah. Nathan, can I ask you a question first?
Of course. I
I think it would be awesome for the ice cream advisors to hear, and people are saying, "Yay, Keonius!" I think it would be great to hear from you about sort of your role in the Saturnae show and the process the part that you've had in working really as our third very crucial collaborator throughout the whole thing. So while you're thinking of that answer, I'm just going to answer a quick question in the chat, which is Sean's question, did I use the new Moog for tonight's show? No, I have not yet used it, but we are planning on going back to the studio, back to production in the next couple of months when we're not prepping for a Saturnae show. And the thing about analog synths is you kind of have to babysit them to keep them in tune. So playing live instruments in an old house that has weird air conditioning and weird conditions is a little bit tricky. So. Yeah, Nathan, let's hear a little bit about your role in the process of Saturnae this season.
Yeah, I think of myself as kind of a ghostwriter for the show, which is it's not completely true because I don't write the scripts. Janae and Ryan write the scripts, and I think that's probably the hardest and scariest part, because the blank page is kind of like a inhospitable wall. And you got to write it, and that's hard. But I play a role in the ideation process and the review process, and I just generally try to help. I try to help the vision as best as I can. Is whenever we think that there's something cool to go do, and I want to always take those cues from you.
Yeah.
I want to try to get there in the coolest way that we can.
Right, and you have, and the thing that we've talked about like this whole time is your background in improv and ideation, like improvisation on the fly and on the spot, and yeah, that's like
right. And so I'm the person with that experience, which is why I've chosen to be a pre-recorded voice. That's all true, and that's true. I think I have opinions about like works of theater and television shows and films and stuff, and I don't consider myself the biggest cinemaphile, but I just feel like if my opinions, if to whatever degree I'm attuned to that sort of thing, can be helpful for like finding the show or helping the show find its legs, then
I'm happy to contribute that.
And like between your, well, I guess I'll tell a story as Ryan is slowly and steadily moving this table here.
Oh, steadily.
Woo! Guinness
steadily.
down. Guinness down.
It's gonna blow up.
We got it.
It's gonna explode.
There was a session towards the beginning of the show when we were talking about incorporating improv into the show, into Saturnae, and you were like, well, in order to improvise, what you have to do is think about the thing that the thing makes you think of, but then think about the next thing and then remove it again after that. So like something twice removed.
Oh yeah. It's one thing to kind of take an idea on the face of it and riff on that, but it always ends up, I think, more interesting when you can relate it to something that is personal to you. So kind of jumping a layer from the idea itself to something in your life, something that it's from you in a more direct way. I being a Chicago native somewhat myself, I was happy to hear Peter Steeves mention Del Close, because Del Close is considered the father of Chicago improv, and a lot of these ideas actually came from him and the group of people that he formed around him as the improv scene in Chicago developed. So I think that probably a lot of my thoughts on this are from that school of thought, and it's a hard and big and heady thing to do, like any improv to that level, when you're holding yourself to you're trying to hold yourself to a higher standard. Like, oh, well, how do I riff on an idea of an idea?
Yeah.
It's like,
It's a lot.
It is, but as soon as I suggested it, I think that you two kind of went into the workshop and actually worked on that skill. And I think it was immediate by the next Saturnae that you could kind of see a paradigm shift there and just like how you were reacting to not only the suggestions from the chat, but how you react to each other, which is really funny. I always love, like, this. Maybe this is just an improv thing. You tell me if you feel the same way. It's hilarious to me to watch the interaction between the two people, because you know that they're making it up on the spot. And that's what it's all about. It's so delicious. You can't get that from any other thing but improv. That's what I love about it.
Yeah. I had never really thought about it that way. And during our process, Blizz and I rehearsing in the studio for like a half hour of just playing Orbital Ice Cream behind us and like going back and forth as many times as we could with different ideas and getting more and more ridiculous. I feel like, did we record any of those? Because some of those were really, like, just the rehearsals were really funny.
I don't remember, but I would encourage everyone to try it, even if it's just in conversation with friends or, having some drinks or whatever. It was a fascinating set of exercises to like actually put into play and do not in a class environment, but we sort of made it that. Like, we really did practice it and play around with. It started very slowly too. Like, play around with this idea of like, okay, I've got ice cream on a beach. All right, a beach reminds me of dogs playing with frisbees. Frisbees could hit you in the glasses. We wear sunglasses, so therefore sunglasses can get broken on the beach by a dog, which I would then want to feel better by going to get ice cream. And like, when you start like connecting these things and then bringing them back, it was really hard though, honestly, like the first time. And I come from a, jazz and improvisational background. So taking that part of my brain and trying to apply it to like English and storyline was difficult for me.
Yeah, I feel like it's also a really useful ideation technique.
Oh yeah,
like
that's a great point.
If you could like do this for narratives and just kind of like set a seed down and then watch things kind of organically bloom around it. I mean, that would be, I feel like that's how you get the coolest and best stories. You're just kind of watching the environment unfold in front of you. And at that point, you as the creator of this thing, you almost feel like you don't have any agency. You're like, I didn't do this. I just put a seed here, and then everything that happened was a result of the chemistry of this idea in this moment and in this environment. And it's just like, whoa. You're like, yeah, something happened that was outside of me.
Yeah. I mean, that's making art, right?
Yeah.
That's letting it happen and kind of going off with the stream of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And good night, Agent Johnny Red. Good night, Lil Agent. Thanks for watching.
Lil Agent.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and thank you so much, Roshana. Oh my goodness. Awesome. Yeah, really fun Hollows Eve. That's a good way to say it. With that, I feel like, speaking of sweet things, we're finally going to eat ice cream because I feel like
Live on camera.
we've drank wine, we've drank beer, but yeah, let's get this out. Wow.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That is like steaming. There is literally like cold stuff coming off of the vanilla ice cream.
Is that the black
right
Tempest dust? It's supposed to be secured away.
Good night, Charlotte. It was great to see you at Horror of the Humanities.
Good night.
Good night. Awesome. And thank you so much, Sean. Yeah, it was definitely the longest episode, which we knew. But we were super excited to just go for it. It's the season finale, so why not?
Yeah. And I would like to say thank you to Peter Steeves for all of this, because when we talked to Peter Steeves about like what we wanted to do with the episode, there was just so much, and all of it was glorious. All of it was fascinating. Yeah, I don't know if I can be much more succinct than that. I just have to say thank you. It's been a real treat. Uh-oh.
Good catch.
Nice save. Live.
Yeah.
This is live.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say...
Did you see that?
That was amazing.
You caught the ice cream.
I caught the ice cream.
This is
in your hand.
You can only get this level of reaction when the adrenaline is flowing. This also is good improv.
Yes.
Yes.
This is very... Here we are. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Sean McKee says, your ice cream may be melting, but Peter melted my brain. Aw. And Peter says, an honor, Nathan. Thank you to the whole team for asking me and catch the ice cream. And Kendra's saying it would be ice cream abuse if you dropped it. It's borderline, though. So you're good.
Yeah, the IICC has rules. It gets deducted from your paycheck, actually, if you drop ice cream on the job.
Whoa, all these new things I'm learning about the IICC. I'm just...
Oh, those contracts are deep.
Yeah.
I don't blame you for not reading the whole thing.
Seriously. I mean, I know that Alex wasn't as thorough as Blizz, but at the same time, they didn't do anything wrong either, but they didn't even know the contract till they had to look it up again. So, Anyway, I did want to echo that, Nathan, and to say that it was just super illuminating and amazing getting to have multiple, I think 2 or 3 hour-long conversations virtually with H. Peter Steeves, who is the director of the DePaul Humanities Center at DePaul University, and then a philosopher, but also someone who incorporates performance into his lectures and performance into the presentation of his ideas in his work as an artist. So it's just amazing to have gotten to collaborate with someone who has this really interesting and fascinating intersection of intellectual thought and philosophy with art and music and performance, and get to and honestly just find a kindred spirit who we've just learned so much from in the course of making this this last show. So
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, kind of blown away by, I think, how this episode turned out, like how things came together, given that it was so big in, I guess, in ambitiousness. I feel like the arts and crafts went even further. Like that was additional levels up. Do you want to talk about the process, like some behind the scenes for how we made those amazing cave shots, those moving cave shots?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because that's like, I don't know if we always talk about that, but that's like, it's one thing for me to sit here and be like, I had an idea and it was cool to do it on Saturday, but
Sure.
I don't actually do those things. You have to realize that it's NÄ and Ryan.
Yeah, so you might have noticed behind NÄ and me briefly, but behind NÄ and the MPS 251, she was in the caves, and that was by far the largest arts and crafts project we've ever taken on, and that is a real cave, a 25-foot cave we built in the house, and then it's big enough to crawl through. It's like 8 feet of chicken wire from the left side up to the top, down to the right side. So it's and then it's paper all the way down, and then there's multiple sets of different lights that we were controlling, and then we built a I don't know what the correct term is. A dolly or something, but we used a skateboard and fixed a camera on that, and then I had to navigate it down the cave to get those shots. So that was just the cave shots was at least a good 20, 30 hours of work, with multiple people helping, because once you're in the middle of a 25-foot cave, it's really hard to fix anything to the outside. So you have to have people on the outside and the inside to help tape things together and keep it together, and a lot of twine. And so that's actually a suspended structure that goes to the floor, but it's actually suspended down. And it was a lot of trial and error, and also some we just have to go for it right now because we don't have enough time for me to redo anything. And it takes up half of the entire basement of the house.
Yeah, so leveling up in terms of scope.
And
craftsmanship. But it's also it's like a different effect than we've seen before.
Yeah, that's true. And, there was another interesting effect in this one that it relatively, I guess I could show like a behind the scenes with a camera, but it relatively was simple in that we used the green screen, common effect, but then you might have noticed it looked like NÄ was in a 3-dimensional like pod. And so we were using various pipes hung from bars above her to sort of create an actual 3-dimensional pod in the space. One piece of it that I didn't get to was I wish I could have made it kind of jiggle every once in a while, like she was riding, and that was the last piece. I never figured out a way to do it with the actual MPS 251 to make that sort of like jiggling a little bit. I didn't want it to be too much.
Yeah, I wonder if there's screen shake in OBS.
That's what I looked for, but
yeah.
I didn't find anything that worked. So.
Yeah, we'll make a plug-in.
But I think it all speaks to what Keone has said, or what Peter Steeves said about like why do we do it? Because I literally had to like turn down work opportunities and stuff to finish the cave. I hope it was worth it. I think it was worth it. So but is that what matters? I don't know. If no one notices, does it still matter? Those are the questions that we discussed with Peter Steeves often over the last 2 months.
Well, I have another question for you, but it's a big one. So why don't we enjoy some of this?
Yeah, Nate, what are we enjoying?
Yeah, Sean was actually asking about that in the chat. He said root beer and ice cream is called a black cow. I actually just drank all the root beer out of it because I meant to do Guinness. So the Black Cow is not actually happening.
Well, I might.
But beer and ice cream, Guinness and ice cream, is there a name for that?
A Guinness float. Guinness float, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so Blizz and I have Guinness floats, and Nathan has a coffee float.
This is an affogato.
Affogato. Cheers.
Cheers.
Woo! Prost. And cheers to you, ice cream advisors. Whatever you are drinking, I hope it is delicious. And also, before the big question that you're about to ask, Nathan, DePaul Humanities Center is asking what is next for the basement. Please do talk more about the amazing cave shots, all of the other arts and crafts. They are amazing. What is next? Yeah.
Well, the simple answer to that is since approximately August 7th, we have not cleaned anything anywhere. We have just built arts and crafts everywhere. And so that's what's next, is dealing with that situation. The cave I'll probably tear it completely down and throw it out tomorrow, honestly, because I don't know what else to do with it. It's, hundreds and hundreds of zip ties, 3 full rolls of duct tape, like
chicken wire.
An entire 50-foot roll of chicken wire, 4 feet wide, that was doubled, therefore the 8-foot half circumference, whatever that's called. So I mean, it'll all come down. I'll keep the lights. I have to sort of untangle the lights from the system. But it's got to go, and that's part of art. It's fleeting. It exists, and hopefully we record it and you enjoy it and whatnot. But right now I have like a legitimate cave in the basement. Maybe I'll sleep in it or something once.
Yeah, Kendra really wants to see the cave.
If only there was a way to put it to use for Halloween. I feel like it's just so perfect.
Yeah. No kidding.
We got one more day.
It'd be an epic haunted cave for like mice or something. Like shake it and they'd be, But I think it's a little small for anyone. I mean, my knees got bruised up really badly doing the shots and stuff.
I was going to say all the kids in the vicinity of the show have probably already seen a lot of the cave.
Oh yeah,
helping you build it.
They helped build it. Yeah. So that was amazing.
Well, maybe we can still put a little fort down there and sleep in there. It looks cozy.
It is cozy. It's actually a really cool space.
Just the Wi-Fi reception is.
The Wi-Fi is horrendous in the cave.
The cave is a Faraday cage.
Yeah, tinfoil doesn't work. You got to use chicken wire. That works. Yeah, it's a Faraday type cage. It blocks everything.
So not good for glamping.
Well, no. You can't get your cable.
Camping, yes. Glamping, no.
Urban camping.
Mm-hmm.
Or you just run hardline Ethernet if you're really glamping hardcore. You got to make sure you have a stable signal for, your flicks.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to ask about season 3. So don't give too much away.
Okay.
But tantalize us. Because how are things... Things are going to be a little bit different, right?
Well,
and we hinted at this in the episode, so...
So I'll reiterate what was said in the episode. Some of you might have noticed there was a point, we called it the Peter gives DePaul and Blizz the charges in our script. But there was a point where Peter Steeves explained some of the issues with sort of the empire that the IICC is. And then gave us the charge of putting together a coalition with other musicians to move forward. So that's what was said in the show, if you caught it. Yeah.
So our plan for the next season and next year in general is to play more shows, first playing shows out and live and hopefully getting to travel a bit as we, in the process of creating Saturnae, have made incredible connections with some really wonderful artists, not only Waking April, but many other artists who have come and watched and supported our show. And not just, not just any artist, but artists who make music with synthesizers, who are okay with nerdy sci-fi things, who are interested in having these deeper conversations and collaborating in a meaningful way, and who have, like Waking April, asked, I want to be a part. Like, how can I get in on this? Like, what's going on? Like, when are you going to come play over in New York? When are you going to play in Los Angeles? When are you coming down to Raleigh, North Carolina? And we're like, yeah, let's do it.
But also, all of that is contingent upon, like, you may have noticed, there's a fair amount of stuff in the spaceship, and that is not portable without a large crew to pull off that. But I think part of what we did about a month and a half ago is put together a live show and kind of figure out, like, how do we actually take this entity and do it in a live way where it's fun. And so that'll be part of that process as far as figuring out, where we can go play and if we can have people come enjoy and hopefully support those artists who have been supporting us and so forth. By doing that, it would be amazing.
Yeah, and so season 3, we're not 100% sure on when. Yeah, but there. It's what?
Well, there's plans.
There's plans.
There's plans.
Yeah. Yes, it is all changeable. But we are. The plan is to head back to the studio, finalize some of the tracks and music that we've been talking about. That we've just not had enough time to go through all of the appropriate marketing, etc. Get the music out there, work on the music, work on new music. We've performed over 40, I think, songs, 35 or 40 songs on Saturnae, including a lot of new music and new songs that we wrote specifically for the show. So we want to go back and sort of regroup and reorganize and see what we want to pursue as far as production and making it really sparkle so people can hear it on Spotify in a different format outside of YouTube. So,
but also season 3 could be on YouTube. I mean, it could be streaming. Like, I think there's a beauty in doing this as well, especially if we can do and incorporate other groups. Like how we had Waking April or individual artists, whatever it is. Like, but what does that mean? What does that look like, and how much, to do what we're doing and then level it up each show. How many additional people do you need to bring in, and how do you pay those people if it moves in that direction is definitely something to consider as we move forward.
Yeah, so tell your friends and just slyly drop the link to that ticket site. And make sure that everybody knows.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Sweet.
Because we got ideas and we want to make them.
Yeah, we'd love to make them and experience them with you. I mean, live shows are inherently interactive to some degree, I think. But this is a different type of interaction, and it's one that I think all of us, and with Nathan's sort of guidance, as far as education on streaming as sort of an entity that exists in a much larger way than I think I was aware or NÆ was aware pre-pandemic. I think that was something that you definitely had awareness of, if not even enjoyed or did yourself at various points and experience, which I had definitely never done. Like, sure, I'd done like an interview live or something, but not like the concept of streaming as almost like an art form or a long form. And so I think there is something to this format that existed pre-pandemic and became very acceptable during pandemic and continues now to be an acceptable format. And I would love to, I find just exploring that to be fascinating.
Yeah.
So.
I guess that's another unique contribution that I have to offer is that I'm a huge nerd and I like video games and I watch video games a lot. And so I guess I have a little bit of. I consider it like a scholarly attitude, but that feels like a hilarious thing to say about watching live video games being streamed. But I do. And I try to take it seriously because I like to learn about this stuff. And to whatever degree I can, I try to let that knowledge inform how we strategize about the show.
Yeah.
But I was trying to remember something that you said because you were talking to like a board of educators or something at some point. I think this was like early last year. And you were like advising them about streaming technology. I was trying to remember what you said because I really liked it.
I don't remember specifically what I said offhand. That was the thing that. But I was a speaker with the International Conductors Guild on post-pandemic interactions in the media space for symphony orchestras, and so I was the person in the field who I wasn't an expert I worked for a large architectural or acoustics firm, and I wasn't, the New World Symphony where there's kind of an unlimited budget and they're running, 12 4K cameras that are all remote controlled, and therefore they're putting on, and they have like 7 massive projectors, and so they're doing these immersive orchestral concerts and stuff, and like, okay, great. That's cool, you can do that, but that's $2, $4, $7 million a year type of budget for media. But what can you do if your budget is like what you raised at the last concert and you have $6,000 to figure out a way to put together your interactive online experience and engage and bring more people in to a classical orchestra and in that environment. So I was speaking on that role as a musician and an audio engineer, and then also as someone who was doing something in the streaming verse that was different. I don't remember what I said that was maybe unique, but it was a great experience, and I hope it was contributed to them.
Yeah, Sean McKee says it used to require high-end cameras. Now late night shows get away with just being in color and in focus, stream from home, so no fancy setup. And I think it was probably along that line, because you were talking about the huge budget, but not everybody has the huge budget, so it's like. You go to a conference like this for, you're trying to like learn something like, okay, well, what can I do? Right. And they're like, simply have $10 million. And you're like,
right. And I was like,
well,
that's
if I
great.
Don't.
Without being mean to other folks
right.
on the panel, I
that's
was like,
great, but
if that's not
an option.
But the biggest thing, and I don't know if this is the thing, but one of the things that I told them and that I thoroughly believe, and part of this comes from sort of having some corporate background, is that you have to encourage people to fail hard, like to go for it 100% and fail. And I think in especially in the classical music industry, that is not what anyone wants to do. If they do decide that they're going to try new things, go for new technologies, put things out there, but like if you're going to be in this space, in a streaming space, you can literally buy like a $200 webcam, like Sean was saying, and then figure out how to get 4 or 5 good mics into a mixer, into a computer, and put on live streams. Okay, cool. So now, can you figure out how to add a second camera? And then can you get someone to play around with free software like OBS to do something cool? Yeah. And now if you're doing something cool, but my whole thing is like, essentially what the corporate world calls research and development, the non-for-profit world needs to take that as like a focus of what they do. And like, you have to encourage people to try things. We can all continue to do the same things we've always done, and we will get the same results, which is totally fine. There's stability in that. But I think that is something I'm still passionate about. I just think that leaders in those industries need to be like pushing that all the time. Is try it, even if we have a minuscule budget. What can we do with that? Yeah. And then to be like, and make sure that people know if you fail, that's okay. Like if this doesn't work, it's okay. No one cares. Like, no, I mean, you'll care, like you'll feel bad and you'll learn and you'll move forward. And so, you know, and I like to take on huge projects. So I'm not like one who, you know, doesn't overstress to make sure I can do as well as I can possibly do on something. But that was the biggest thing. Is just like you have to encourage people to do that, and then they will continue to take on those more difficult tasks, and it becomes fun. And if it's fun, like now you've got employees that love working with you for the act of doing the job, and that's amazing. So, yeah. I don't know, once again, if that was the thing. But that was the thing I like went off in the conference, and everyone was like, all right. I was like, but that was the biggest thing. People were like, well, how do you do it? And I said, you set up one webcam, and you do something. And then you go, what can we do next time?
Yeah, I think what I was remembering was probably the intersection of those two things, of it being like, we don't have a budget, but now we're in a situation because of circumstances where we have to do this, or else there's no more institution. Like, and whatever your institution is, if it can't go virtual right now, it's gone effectively, or at least on pause. Yeah, and I think it's, you know, to your credit and exactly what you just said, it's a triumph that you have done as much involved stuff as you have in one room with a dozen webcams and a computer with way too many inputs going into it.
Yeah, that's a lot of,
And I think that between like the Late Show, the Late Show reference that Sean made, and just a lot of the YouTube videos that you see or encounter anyway, a lot of those videos are not necessarily like high production, like studio quality things, but because they're entertaining and compelling in some way, I think that there's something to be said for making something that people are like, oh, I haven't seen anything quite like that before. And we have Future Trees in the chat there, who is an electrical engineer and makes synthesizers and is a synth artist himself, and he's saying that his company is trying to make immersive, multi-sensory music on a low budget. Yes, that's what it's about. Do it. Just do it. Yeah, it's awesome. And then so many great comments about failing being one of the best motivators to excel and succeed, that Sean said, and wisdom comes from experience, and experience comes from mistakes. Thank you, Radio Earth.
I will also add, though, this is the piece that, to me, it is very inspiring, all these things about of failing, but like, if you look at major corporations that make massive amounts of money, they also sink massive amounts of money into what they call research and development, which is essentially failing. Like, it's trying things to see if they work. That's the research and development. So, like, if you're putting something like anywhere between 10 and 40% of your budget into that stuff, that means you're funding people to try things, and that's good. I think that creative people need to consider that option, like in that same way, like that it's part of the process. And improv and the stuff we talked about at the beginning, I think actually has a pretty big overlap with that, because you have to just go, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot about business and there's a lot about art where it's really easy to kind of fall into a mode of continuing to do the thing that you think is probably going to be the most successful. And then you just do that 1,000 times until you retire. And I mean, to the credit of that strategy, the people who execute well on it are usually right. And they, Hollywood kind of churns out the same formulaic paint by numbers movies and they make a lot of money. And that's not to say that they're bad, but the people who have a bone to pick with that sort of thing also are right that they are formulaic, right? Mm-hmm. But so you see this pattern continuing to execute and continuing to succeed, and you go, why would I ever do anything else? And it
employs a lot of creatives and a lot of people who are doing, all this other work. It employs thousands of people.
Right. Yeah. And so I think that it just leads to a situation where it is really scary to experiment because you're kind of sinking time and resources on something that might not be as good as the thing that almost guarantees success. But if you want to do something new, and if you want to engage people in a way that they've never been engaged before, you kind of don't have any other option than to go off the beaten path.
Yeah.
I don't know what the point of saying all that was, but just thinking aloud there.
That's a lot I feel like I'm processing and kind of chewing on, and especially this conversation dovetailing off of what Peter Steeves was talking about with corporations, sort of, the corporate entity and that system that we all live in. It's like it'll be 2100, or is that even a year? 2100? I don't know. It'll be 100 years from now, and people will still be going nuts over Marvel comic hero movies. I feel like, just because it's such a part of that churning system. It's tested, tried, and true, and as much as a corporation, and I feel like Peter Steeves would probably say this much better than me, but it's even though the corporation, we might be back. Hey, maybe nope.
Oh.
Maybe they can hear us, so I'm going to keep talking just in case.
Finish that thought.
Blizz, is everything okay?
One of the monitors turned off. That's why we're freaking out. If you can still see us, we're just looking at this monitor that turned off.
Yes, indeed. So maybe once we can see the chat again.
I see all the other monitors. We got 3 screens here, and 2 of them are working. Oh. See yourself.
Now we're back.
Are we
maybe?
on? Oh, YouTube says excellent connection. Thanks, YouTube.
Thank you. Are we back on? Are we back live, folks? Can you see us?
Ones in the chat if you can see us. Type ones. Oh no, restore chat.
Uh oh. We might be done.
We ran out of reel.
Can you hit end stream?
Put in the other tape.
Oops. Does YouTube have a limit or something?
No, it shouldn't have a limit. I've seen people go much more than 2 hours, I can tell you that. That comes from my deep study.
All right, we're at
3:30. 3:30?
Oh my.
Time live? Oh yeah, that's right. I wasn't thinking about that. And I don't see anyone in the chat. They would have said something about this. I think we're off. I think we're offline.
That is very possible.
Uh-oh. Should I?
Do you have your phone with you?
Yeah. Well, it'll take me a bit of time to navigate to the YouTube. Put on that 5G. See what I get. Oh, my phone is going to die immediately.
We are definitely done at this point. I just closed it.
You just what?
I mean, I might be able to get back in, but.
Oh, they can see and hear us.
They can see and hear us?
Yeah.
I thought it might be the case.
All right.
Mike Poulos is calling me?
You can hear us. You can see us. Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing. All right.
We're going to trust you.
Well,
Spaceship had a little issue.
slight issue with the spaceship. Thank you for the kind texts from family members.
Whew.
Excellent. And from Kendra. Wow, y'all are.
Thank you. Oh,
Thank
look,
you.
they did type the ones. We just couldn't see it because we
Yeah,
were.
they did. Okay. Woo. Oh my.
That was helpful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wow. And Ice Cream Advisor saved the day.
Yeah. Good thing we didn't do anything weird.
Right?
Dropping all our ice cream off
Oh my goodness.
while we're still on camera.
No. Wow.
Can't do it.
Ooh, might need another drink. But I do want to finish my thought when Blizz comes back. And thank you all. Such a pleasure to know the three of you. Great to work with you. Oh, thank you,
Thank
Peter
you.
Steeves.
Yeah, we're being cut off. They found us.
The IICC. Right as I'm about to say something about corporations.
I got something to say about capitalism.
YouTube's like, yes. All right, signing off. H. Peter Steeves, thank you so much.
Good night.
Amazing. Have a great night.
Thank you so much.
Take care in that basement of the IICC. No, I guess I was just going to say, Blizz, as you're getting a refill on your intergalactic beverage, I was going to say that the corporations, the sort of capitalistic system, I mean, through commodity and selling us things, they sort of thrive and they're able to profit off of and market based on our idea of our own individuality. So this idea that I've talked a lot about in interviews, and now I'm thinking about it in new ways, which is really cool. The idea that that the way that you consume defines who you are, and it's sort of a symptom of living in a capitalist society that is driven by corporations and corporations wanting to sort of take hold of the American or really any given place, right? We all have this sense of individuality, and like what defines me is that I'm a fan of insert football team here, Steelers, I don't know. Like, I'm a fan of this, and I do this, and this is how I spend my time. And I think just knowing that corporations are taking that information and now tracking it very, very closely, what we like and what we talk about and what we're doing, and thriving off of this sense of individuality. And I think, interestingly, we had gone through a couple of the sections of the script with Peter Steeves as we were getting ready for this show, but a lot of the conversation we were having, especially the first interaction where there were three big questions that Peter Steeves and DePaul speak about in depth, and Peter Steeves goes into an eloquent breaking down of that concept of individuality. I was sort of like thinking about this in a new way, sort of on the spot as well. I was going to say something else, but I lost my train of thought. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's a lot to process. We got to make art. We got to do it. We got to do the cool stuff every day.
Every day.
Every way.
I like to eat my ice cream
while I'm sitting on the
dock of the bay.
That was cool too. The taking all the hooks at the end of the improv sections and then making them into a little medley. I appreciated that.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Every episode. How many episodes did we? We had 6 different throwbacks
Bits in there.
Bits from each episode that we then incorporated into the credit sequence.
Yeah.
You put it together. I didn't do it. How many? Which episodes were they?
I think
It would have had to been like all of them except for the first one, right?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, we technically did, even though this was episode 7, we did an episode 0 back in February with the launch of the Push Button Future album, which was when we launched into space. So we had 8 different episodes, and we wrote at least 6 different hooks for the ending of Orbital Ice Cream. And basically what would happen is Ryan and I would be rehearsing the song and going through the improv, and then actually Ryan came up with a lot of those hooks, either by just saying something funny or playing a line on the trumpet, and then we wrote something to it. So you're very good at coming up with those, by the way. Yeah. Like many things.
Yeah, the Blizzle freestyle.
For real.
Oh yeah, I remember the robot.
Oh, that
The
was
robot
that was
freestyle?
last year.
That was hard. I don't know if there's anyone still left on the chat who remembers the robot freestyle. But
Season 1.
It was that was season 1, and I freestyle rapped for like a good 2 minutes, and I nailed it in rehearsals multiple times just to get my head back in that space that it hasn't been in for 20 years, and the show went pretty well, but it's a lot to freestyle rap. Yeah, it was fun though.
I feel like you do it a lot better now, though.
Probably.
Knowing what we know about improv and sort of
Well, yeah, just having practiced it.
practiced it over many months.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Yes. Yeah, and the vault rock, again, I have to say, so good. We put Chris
Turkovich.
Yes. We put the little miniature Yamaha PS500 or whatever it's called. I think that's what it is in the inside of the MPS 2x5x1 cave crawler, and so I was able to play a little bit on the vault rock with you in the midst of waving my streamers and like taking down the back of the MPS. Oops.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, don't worry about it. You can check it out later. Oops.
Huh?
Well, if there's any other questions from you all, we would love to take them, but we'll probably wrap up here in just a couple of minutes. So
Yeah, we put in a lot of ideas, and we were reeling for a little while with all that existential thinking that we were doing.
yeah,
So it was nice to come down from that.
yes.
Oh man,
Ooh.
I'm having fun. I'm not normally here. Normally, I don't push any buttons during the show. Ryan generally pushes all the buttons. I actually am usually at my house, having pre-recorded everything. Again, not accomplished, improv artist.
And voice actor.
Yeah, so I guess I've staked my alliance with voice acting over improv by making that choice. I said, you know what? It was probably a more consistent show if I just pre-record this and let Ryan just push a button, and then the delivery's perfect. Oh, and you can put a little sound design in there.
Yep.
And you can mash the button to make me annoying.
Yeah, I love doing that.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I love playing with the weird manufactured combination of playback audio and like the thing being said, where I can like show Keonius's annoyance, and I love that. I think that's a fun part to the show. It's just hard, like in a show tonight where we have readings, Keonius, sound effects, my own lines. Like I sort of have to keep track of like 4 different characters in my head. So there were definitely a couple times where
like
I was
the
like
entire
caught
script.
off. Where I'm like, oh shoot, I know one of these 4 things is next. I just don't know which one. Is it me? I'm supposed to be talking. Oh, and video switching. So then it would be on me. There was one point. Oh, also the video switcher went down in the middle of the show. That was fun. Yeah.
Oh, right.
I don't know if you saw me freaking out. I was on camera too. It got stuck on me, of course, when it went down. So like I'm trying to troubleshoot what's going on, but I'm the only thing on the screen. Anyway, I hope you didn't notice. But if you did.
Hope that was all right.
But what as we sign off here, Nate, what should people look for? What's going on as far as stuff for different social media, for YouTube? I know we have a lot of things we're going to work on for all these past episodes, and how should people continue to look for what we're doing?
Yeah, I think so we have songs that we are going to be releasing in the coming months. The best way to stay afloat of what's happening, what we're working on, stay afloat.
Stay afloat.
I just had to get one in.
Yes.
Sorry.
So if you are not subscribed to the DEPaul email list, you should do that. That's the most reliable source of information. As we now know, Facebook changing its name to not being Facebook anymore.
Betrayal.
Whatever. But if you go to NÄmusic.com and scroll down to where it says to subscribe, you can do that. Or you can go to NÄmusic.com/subscribe-to-NÄ. And once we have a better idea of dates and times, etc., we'll be posting that on social media, on Instagram. You can follow the work that we're doing if you follow @NÄ Synth Pop. That is where I also post a lot of the behind the scenes. If you missed the construction of the cave, send me a direct message and I will send you pictures of the cave in process. As Blizz was working on that, you spent so many hours down there. But yeah, we have new music coming out. We're hopefully going to be filming some music videos next year, hopefully playing some shows out and traveling around. Oh yeah, the comments are great. And then, yes. And then starting up season 3, to answer your question there in the chat, I don't have a date yet, but we will once we've made a plan. We just need we need some recharge, recuperation time, because really this year has been amazing, but it got particularly intense when we were trying to plan a huge, big, happy family event, and also working on shows and hosting amazing artists and spending hours on each episode. We need a hard reset, and then we're gonna hit the ground running again, because y'all know us at this point. We like to be working on art, and we like to be working on music and projects. So
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And Nathan, thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's appreciated.
I'm glad to be along for the ride.
Oh, you did it! Oh my God! Thank you all so much for coming out and hanging out for the season finale. For those of you who've been to multiple shows, we just your support and being here and having the conversations that have happened in the real world space, in the digital space, online, in person, in the chat as our ice cream advisor. It has just made the year so sweet. And I would say it couldn't get any sweeter, but it's Halloween tomorrow, so go have fun and happy Halloween. Have a spooky weekend, and yeah. See you soon.
Happy Halloween.
Woo! All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.